Hey guys, this is Ali's alter ego and I don't believe in Web3 technology. I don't know what he talks about. So we'll be asking him some random questions. I'll be drilling him about Web3 technology. Hello guys, this is Ali Solanki and today I'll be talking about Web3. I'll be answering some of his questions and yeah, let's see. So let's see how it goes. The first question that I have for Ali is, why is Web3 needed in the first place and what is it exactly? Why does he keep talking about it? What does it mean? Okay, so Web3 in the most basic terms, if I make you understand it, it started from Web 1, right? So let's understand what Web 1 is, what Web 2 is, and then we'll go on to Web 3. Web 1 was the period of web wherein you could only see the data on the internet, right? You could not interact with it. You could not post your own videos or photos or anything of that sorts. You could just read content from the web, like Yahoo News, right? So you can only take content from there. After that came Web 2, wherein Facebook, Instagram, all of these other social media platforms just took it by the storm, and you could even post your content, you could text other people, you could mail other people, and all of these things. So that was Web 2. After this, people realized that these social media companies, they are taking away your data, they are taking away your privacy, and that resulted in a huge revolution. And that is where Web3 came into place. It is all about privacy, it is all about anonymity, and it is all about control over your data, ownership of your data, right? So that is what Web3 is all about. Now let's see what other things he has to say, so I'll give it to you. But I already have all my applications on Web 2, like Facebook, Instagram, even my mail ID is there on Web 2. So why do I even need Web 3 in the first place? Okay, so you need Web 3 because you want to provide privacy. You need to give ownership of data to the people, right? Because people are fed up of just these technology companies and these big tech companies, taking away your data, using them. And right now we see so many companies, having targeted ads just to manipulate you into buying certain goods and services. So that is why Web3 is needed so much. Apart from that, Web3 is quite secure. So right now, if say for example your data with Instagram, Facebook and your Gmail ID as well, it's all stored on certain centralized servers. Like Facebook's data would be stored on Facebook servers, right? So they have ownership of your data. If they want to remove your data, if they want to remove all of your photos, if say for example YouTube once decides to just remove all of my videos, they can do that, right? And I would not have any kind of control over that. However, on Web3, when it comes to blockchain, the data is immutable. Immutable meaning it cannot be changed. Once it's put on the blockchain, it's there forever. So that is one of the key features why Web3 is really needed right now, because of privacy, because of control, and because of ownership of data, giving ownership back to the people. So that is my answer for that. But Web3 is so complex, it's so difficult to understand. Why do I even need to know what is a seed phrase or private keys or public keys? These are so complex terms. Why do I need to learn about these things? Just to onboard onto Web3, why do I need a wallet in order to use your Web3 applications? Okay, so yes, Web3 is complex, at least for now, because it is a new technology, it is an emerging technology. If you were to go back say 20 years, 30 years down the line, and you were to see internet coming in, right, you would notice that it was really complex back then. If you wanted to make a website, it wasn't that easy. Even now, because there are these website builders and all of these things already in place, these frameworks that help you build your own website, but it is still a bit complex. Right now, if I wanted to build a website, I wouldn't be able to do it in just 1 or 2 clicks, right? Until unless I'm paying. So the complexity always decreases as the technology matures. And right now Web3 hasn't gotten that much time to mature in the first place. And the reason why I want people to understand what Web3 is because I want to simplify it. I want people to understand what it is all about, and that's why I want to make these videos in the first place. So yes, Web3 is complex, but it will simplify over time. as more and more developers adopt it and make things easier for other people to come in, so that is how it will mature. Apart from that, say for example you wanted to transfer a file or you wanted to send out a mail to a person, right? It used to be so complex. Even making like a email ID was really complex 20-30 years down the line. But now it's really easy. Making a Google ID is so easy, and that is all because of all the developers who have come together, built amazing technologies on top of internet. So that is what will happen with Web3 as well. People will build new technologies, new applications on top of Web3, which will make it easier for other people to use and understand it. So they don't need to get into the depths of what Web3 is, how it works, but rather they would just be using it on the application layer. But the adoption of Web3 is itself very low. Crypto in itself has a lot of bad reputation when it comes to the governments of the world, right? Crypto adoption will take a long time to be accepted as a currency rather than an asset. So what do you think about that? Yes, so I do think that crypto has gotten a bad name, and especially due to all the things that it makes easier for people to do, and people then use the technology for bad things as well. And that is there with every technology. The crypto adoption for becoming a currency would take a long time, and I agree to that. But because the technology provides so much value. For example, if a freelancer in India is working for a company which is based out of US, if he wants to get paid, he can get paid within seconds if he uses cryptocurrency. But if he uses say fiat currency, it will be really difficult, because they would then have to do bank transfers which take a long time, and even the currency conversions would take a lot of charges. I feel that crypto has a lot of value to offer. It's just that it needs to be adopted by the governments as well and the other people who are there on the top. So once that happens, yes, definitely crypto adoption will be on the rise, and you would see a lot of really good people coming onto Web3. Okay, but what about the problems related to so many crimes and money laundering and all of these other things, wherein Bitcoin and all of these other cryptocurrencies make it so easy for all of these things to happen? Yeah, so as I said, every technology has its own pros and cons. Now, it is on the people of using it for the betterment and not using it for, say, all the other things that you mentioned, like money laundering, crimes, and all of these things. So yes, I do understand that crypto makes it really easy for all of these things to happen, but you cannot blame the technology for it. There are laws in place in order to make these things stop. And the second thing is that blockchain in itself is so transparent, and you can see almost all the transactions. You can actually track all the transactions and see where the money is going. So money laundering problem, I feel it kind of solves it rather than making it worse. But yeah, that is up for debate. I am not an expert in all of those things, so I won't be talking much about that. But I do feel that if people just understand how to read these blockchain transactions, how to see them and analyze them, they would be much better sorted of, understanding these things and solving these problems as well. But even apart from these things, development on the blockchain technology is very difficult. If I need to learn about the blockchain technology, there aren't a lot of resources available over the internet. So how do you solve that problem? I mean, if a developer wants to onboard onto Web3, if they want to learn about blockchain technology, it's very difficult for them. So yes, it is difficult to onboard onto Web3, and yes, I know that understanding blockchain technology becomes a bit difficult, and you need to understand how money works and how these cryptos are formed and all of these other things along with the development part. So yes, it kind of becomes difficult for people, but I'm really sure that these things will simplify over time. I'm saying this again and again, I know that, but I feel that once you give it enough time to mature, all of these things won't even be needed to understand, right? You won't even need to understand these things. These are complex things which would just be under the radar. Right now, how many of you guys know about TCP IP protocols and all of these things which run the internet actually, but you've never even heard of it? You just use the application layer, you just use Instagram, you just use Facebook, but don't understand how APIs work, how these calls are working, or how are they fetching the data, and all of these other things. So these things will work under the hood and you won't even need to understand these things. Development will become easier over time, so give it some time, have some developers on board onto Web3, and you will see magic being created here. The transactions that you're talking about, how does a normal person know where to see them, where to analyze them, and know about, okay, where is this money going from and coming from? If people don't see these transactions in the first place, how would they actually know about these different problems? Okay, so if you wanted to see these transactions and understand about the blockchain explorers and all of these things, I still think that they've made it really really easy to do all of these things, do all of these transaction analysis. But there is a long way to go, and I agree to that part. But you need to give blockchain time. Okay, so I guess there are a lot of issues that Web3 needs to solve, but over here we have a really good community and I can sense it. So I guess we can work together and solve these issues once and for all. If you like these kind of videos and you like this new concept of me recording my alter ego and everything, then do press the like button. It took me a lot of time to record these things, and subscribe to the channel to see more of such content. Bye bye.